What we do here is go back, 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 back.
Hello, my name is Trey Moss, and this is my final art exam for art class. I don't know if we're watching this in class or not, but I'm doing clay. This is the first step I'm doing, parchment paper. I don't know if clay will stick to parchment paper. Honestly, I'm not an expert at clay, but I'm gonna try to make a head right now. But since it's windy out, I'm taping down the parchment paper. The tape is not gonna stick. You don't need to be as extra as me, because what I bought is a big block of clay. Now, this big block of clay, that was not great. It's very large and big. I don't have any tools, so because you don't really need tools if you just know what you're doing. Usually you want to take off your jewelry, but I can't take this ring off easily, and I'm not struggling in front of the camera, and I didn't think about it beforehand, so no. Okay, put on the block there. So what we're gonna do is press the clay. I got the clay from Hobby Lobby, by the way. This is air dried clay from Hobby Lobby. So we're just gonna form it in our hands. So depending on how big you want the face, I want it like the size of my fist. So I'm gonna chop off or grab more clay off. It would be easier if you had tools, but did I want to bring out tools? No, because I want to show that you could do it with your hands, like a caveman. That wasn't good. This isn't working out. I have a Baja Blast to hold it down, hopefully. So, once you kind of flatten it out, smoothen it out, because you want to make it as smooth as possible in the first place, like that, or somewhat smooth. You want to smooth out the clay as much as possible, because once you start forming the face, it's gonna really suck to take out those big creases, because you're increasing your chances of just messing up the facial structure. I'm not very good at it, and faces are very tricky for me in any medium of art. So I'm just not very good at it, but I'm gonna roll it in my hands a little bit and then kind of rub in with my thumb. It's okay to have a little bit of fingerprints, because you can use a brush or just water by itself to get rid of your fingerprint lines. I'm making a pretty cartoonish face, because I don't like I don't know, real faces freak me out, so I like making cartoonish ones. Don't ask me why real faces kind of freak me out. I don't know. I couldn't put down a reason, but on why, but that's just who I am. So I'm making a cartoon face. See, I push everything to the top, right, and to the bottom, because usually people don't look at the top of they do look at the top, because I'm gonna smooth that out, but they don't look at the bottom. So you can kind of get away with that, but you want to make it look as nice as possible, but you don't need to stress yourself out about it, that it looks perfect. But on the top, you usually do want to try your hardest to make it look nice, because if you don't, I don't know, it just looks kind of ornamenty. It kind of looks like you're going for an ornament, a Christmas ornament. This is what I have so far. I have a bean. I have a bean. Now, what I'm gonna do with this set bean is I'm gonna press my thumbs into like this right here and right here to make eye sockets. Now, what you could do is like make those lines that like you do when you're drawing, like the X, and to line up your proportions right. But I don't really care about proportions that much. I just don't. Stretch that. Oh, I'm gonna want to cover that. Cover up your clay so it doesn't tear out or dry out. If your eyes are looking a little uneven, you're probably gonna want to add, not subtract. Because if you subtract too much, you're probably gonna get the bridge like this, whatever this is, a little too thin, and that looks goofy. So you're gonna want kind of a thick bridge, because no one has just like nothing in between their eyes. That's just goofy. Unless you're going for just like a skeleton kind of looking vibe, you know? Now smooth out the arches of the face to blend in the clay that I added to it. I'm gonna try to make the skull a little less caveman-y. I don't care if that's not a word. I'm making words up. It's my video. I can do what I want. He looks a little wonky, but like that's okay. This is my man so far. He don't got a nose yet. But this is my man's. And with just your finger, you can smooth that in. Now, you just want the top of the nose. You don't want to smooth in here, because it's just gonna look like it's just a beak on his face. You don't want that. You want it to be just loose here, because it's not gonna fall off if you blend it enough on here. If your clay's not like stubborn enough, it should just blend in, and you don't need to do the because sometimes you need to like do texturing, like you need to like cut. I would just use my thumb if I have no tools, but you like hack it up and then you stick it together and then you blend it. But you shouldn't have to do it with this, because unless your clay is hard to work with. His nose is on. Look at that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is take a little bit more clay. We're gonna make a mouth. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press in with my finger just a tiny bit to make an indentation. This is my head so far. Now, what we're gonna do is make hair for him. That's gonna get crazy. He's gonna have an afro. Now, we got another ball of clay. This is gonna be on his head. Take your clay, and then you're gonna place it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for like an Elvis Presley mullet kind of vibe, like 80s, like country rock kind of vibe. Now, you do want to put it in two different sections. So you have the natural hair thing. That's what the back looks like right now. I'm gonna smooth it out a tiny bit. You don't want to smooth it out too much, because hair isn't perfectly smooth. You do want some texture. You more want it connected somehow in the center of the mass of clay of the hair, instead of on the edge. Because see, I messed up on the right on this side, but on this side it looks better because it has that like that ridge that I need back on the other side, which I'm gonna try to create with my nail. I'm just gonna press right in the center of this mass. get it, since I have this massive area in the back, I'm gonna try to put it in the center so I can blend it into the other side as much as possible, so I can so I don't have to do as much work. I'm just gonna smooth it all out, blend it kind of in the back. I don't want to make it too like so it's just like his head's getting fatter. Well, man with hair. And what I'm gonna give him is a little torso. Make this a ball. I'm gonna knead it in my hand. I'm gonna make it a ball. Once I make it a ball, I'm gonna roll it out a tiny bit. At the bottom, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna scratch it a little bit. It might be a little dry by now, but it's fine. It'll do. Try to just work that in to the previous clay. You're gonna want to put it a little further back, like here, because that's just where the neck would be. Now that I got the head or the neck of the head, what I'm gonna do is put him right here. Take another handful of clay. What I'm gonna do is put it around here, like encapsulate it, kind of. You can't have the neck too like long from the shoulders because otherwise the clay is not going to be able to support it without metal wiring on the inside, which is a little bit more sophisticated. So that's my guy. Now, is this the cleanest it could be? No. But is this a prototype? Yes. Now this is Jerry. Jerry is having a good time. He is a self-governing, self-sustaining clay project. And that's it. We just need to let it dry for like I don't know, a couple of hours. You might want to find supports for it, but you don't need to. Oh, he needs eyeballs. Hold on, we're not done. Oh, he kind of looks like soulless with his eyeballs. Not to be rude, sir, but you kind of do look soulless with your eyeballs. Now, once you make your eyeballs, you can put them in the socket, and that's how you make your soulless creature. And that's what I'm gonna name this: the soulless creature. Thomas, the soulless creature, or whatever I named him. And that's it. That's how you make clay by Trey Moss. Peace out.